Hello everyone, I am Jivy Palar Gorpio, a fourth year BE Ed student, and welcome to this pre-recorded lecture discussion in field study. Teaching is more than just standing in front of a classroom and delivering a lesson. It is about understanding students, managing learning environments, and continuously improving teaching strategies. Aspiring educators must go beyond theory and immerse themselves in actual classroom settings to truly grasp the essence of teaching. This is where field study plays a crucial role. Field study is a crucial component of teacher education programs that bridges theoretical knowledge with actual classroom experience, and it allows prospective teachers to immerse themselves in a real world teaching and learning setting, enable them to develop essential pedagogical skills, classroom management techniques, and instructional strategies. By observing, assisting, and reflecting on actual scenarios, future educators gain first-hand exposure to student engagement, lesson delivery, and the complexities of the teaching profession. Now, let's analyze the questions one by one, and I will explain why each correct answer is the best choice. First, what is the primary purpose of a field study course? The correct answer is letter D, to observe and analyze actual teaching learning situation. Field study serves as a bridge between the theory and practice, so allowing future educators to gain first-hand exposure to real classroom setting. And the goal is to develop a deeper understanding of teaching strategies, students' behavior, and classroom dynamics by observing actual lesson. Unlike letter A, that is conducting laboratory experiment, which focuses on scientific research, and letter B, that is performing administrative tasks, which is more related to school operations. Field study is centered on classroom management. Similarly, it does not letter C because C is replace classroom based instruction but rather complements by it providing experiential learning. So the answer is letter D. Observe and analyze actual teaching learning situations. Next, what does experiential learning in field study involve? The correct answer is letter B. Hands-on observation and participation in classroom teaching. Because experiential learning emphasizes learning by doing, meaning field study students must actively engage in real classroom activities. So this includes assisting teachers, observing different instructional techniques, and interacting with students. Next, which depth ed document serves as the basis for classroom observations? The answer is letter B, PPST, Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers. The Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers provides a framework for effective teaching practices and teaching development. It serves as a guide for field study students when evaluating and reflecting on the classroom observations. While the K-12 curriculum guide, it will outline the learning standards and competencies. It does not focus on the teacher's performance. The DepEd Order Number 8 Series of 2015, this is related to the grading system, not the teaching strategies. And the letter D, a school memorandum on instructional design, may provide guidance for a specific school, but it is not the official national framework. Next, why is classroom immersion essential for prospective teachers? The answer is letter A. It allows them to experience real teaching and learning situation firsthand. Because classroom immersion enables future teachers to witness and understand real classroom challenges, helping them develop effective teaching strategies and classroom management techniques. Next, how does experiential learning benefit future teachers? The answer is letter C. It provides direct experience in classroom teaching and student interaction. Experiential learning gives future educators the opportunity to apply theories in a real teaching environment, allowing them to interact with students, practice the instructional strategies, and develop problem solving skills. Unlike the letter A, that is only memorizing the theories, which does not involve in the real life application, and letter B, avoiding real classroom situations, which deprives students teachers of hands-on experience. Experiential learning fosters confidence and teaching competence. Similarly, letter D, eliminating the need for lesson planning is incorrect, as lesson planning remains as essential skill for teachers. Next, what is the main purpose of guided teaching observations in field study? The correct answer is letter B, to reflect on how different teaching styles affect the learning outcomes. Because guided observations will help the field study students to analyze various teaching approaches and assess their impact on student learning. So this process encourages reflection and critical thinking. Next, a cooperating teacher asks you to assist in a reading activity for struggling students. So what should you do? The correct answer is letter A. You guide them through the reading using phonics and context clues. Struggling readers will benefit from direct support, and using phonics and context clues will help them decode words and comprehend the text. The letter B, reading the passage for them, does not encourage skill development. Letter C is skipping difficult words. This will just prevent them from learning. And letter D, letting them figure it out on their own may lead to frustration. So an effective teacher provides guidance while allowing students to actively engage in the learning process. Next, as a student refuses to participate in group work, and as a field study student, how should you assist the teacher? The correct answer is letter D. You encourage the student to take on a small, manageable role in the group. Because some students may feel overwhelmed by the group task, so assigning them a small but meaningful role encourages participation without causing distress. In letter A, asking the teacher to remove the student from the group, this will just isolate them rather than encouraging engagement. Letter B, ignoring the student does not address the issue. Letter C, assigning extra written work is not an effective way to encourage collaboration. So a supportive approach will help students gradually build confidence and contribute to group work. Next, while observing a classroom, you notice that some students struggle to complete assignments. So how can you assist? correct answer is letter A. You offer to provide one-on-one support for students who need help. One-on-one assistance allowing struggling students to survive. One-on-one assistance allows students to receive personalized guidance, helping them better understand the lesson. And letter B, encouraging the teacher to give easier assignments that just lowers the academic expectation and does not provide real support. And letter C gives students the answers to speed up the process. Does not promote learning. And letter D, reducing the student's workload without discussing it with the teacher undermines the instructional process. So instead, offering the target help enables students to overcome challenges and improve their learning skills. Next, you can ask to help set up a classroom display for a new topic. So what should you prioritize? The correct answer is letter C, making the display interactive and visually engaging for students. Because classroom displays should be engaging and interactive, reinforcing the lesson and enhancing the students' learning. Letter A, placing random decorations does not contribute to the educational value. Letter B, using only written text may not capture students' interest. Similarly to letter D, keeping the display simple and with no visuals does not stimulate curiosity and engagement. So a well-designed display encourages exploration, discussion, and deeper understanding of the topic. Next, a teacher assigns you to assist the students during a group discussion. So what is the best way to help? Correct answer is letter C. Facilitate discussion and ensure all students contribute. The role of a field study student is to guide and encourage all students to participate. Next, a student in your assigned classroom struggles with math problems. So how should you help? Correct answer is letter A. You break down the problem into smaller steps and guide them. Because breaking the problem into smaller parts will help students understand the concept more effectively. Letter B and C and D is not an effective teaching approach. Next, you observe the two different teachers using different classroom management techniques. So how can you determine which method is more effective? The answer is letter A. You compare how the students respond and engage in each classroom. Because the effectiveness of classroom management depends on students' engagement and students' learning outcome. Letter B, C, and D does not necessarily indicate effective management. Next, a student consistently fails quizzes but actively participates in class discussions. So what should be analyzed to understand the situation? The correct answer is letter B. Whether the student has test anxiety or struggles with written assessments. So some students excel in verbal communication, but struggle with written assessments. So, due to test anxiety or difficulty expressing thoughts in writing. Next, you observe some students lose focus during a teacher's lecture-based lesson. What should you analyze first? The correct answer is letter B. Whether the lesson includes interactive or engaging elements. Because student engagement depends on how interactive and engaging the lesson is. While lack of sleep may contribute to inattention is not a primary concern, classroom management and teacher handwriting are secondary factors. Next, a student shows disruptive behavior in class but performs well academically. So what factor should you analyze? The correct answer is letter C. The possible external influences affecting the student's behavior. Because a student's behavior is influenced by home environment, social interactions, and personal challenges. Assigning more homework, that is letter A, or checking the past grade, that is letter B, does not address the behavioral issues, and setting position may help, but it's not the main factor. So next, after completing your classroom observation, how would you evaluate the effectiveness of the teacher's instructional strategies? The correct answer is letter C. You analyze student engagement and learning outcomes based on the lesson objectives. So, the best way to assess teaching effectiveness is by measuring the students' engagement and the learning progress. Letter A, counting activities, asking students if they like the teacher, or relying on personal preferences is not an objective way to evaluate teaching. Okay, next. A teacher implements a new approach to classroom management. So how can you evaluate whether it is effective? The correct answer is letter C. You observe the changes in students' behavior and learning environment. Because the best way to assess a new management strategy is by observing its impact on students' behavior and the classroom management. Letter A, asking students if they like the rules is subjective. Letter B, checking if the students are silent does not measure the engagement, and comparing with other teachers may not be relevant. Next, a school introduces a technology-based learning program. So what should be considered when evaluating its success? Correct answer is letter A. Whether the student learning and engagement have improved. Because technology should enhance the students' learning and engagement, while entertainment and costs are factors. They do not determine educational effectiveness. So the number of teachers using technology does not guarantee the success. Next, a school asks you to develop a strategy to improve student engagement. So what is the best First step. Answer is letter A. You design an interactive learning activities based on the student's interests. Because the most effective way to boost the engagement is by making the learning interactive and aligned with the student's interests. Letter B, stricter discipline. Letter C, extra homework. And letter D, lecture-based teaching do not necessarily improve the engagement. Next, the best way to understand the classroom management during field study is the correct answer is letter B. Observing how the teachers establish routines and disciplines. Because a classroom management is best learned through observation and analysis of how the teachers create a structured and disciplined learning environment. Letter A, reading a research papers is a helpful but does not provide direct experience. Letter C, asking students about their favorite rules and evaluating teachers based on strictness do not accurately reflect classroom management effectiveness. Next. What is the authentic experiential learning in the context of field study? The answer is letter B, applying the knowledge through real-world classroom experiences. Because experiential learning involves actively participating in in real teaching situation. Letter A, memorizing lesson plans or observing without interaction, and theoretical learning alone does not provide the necessary teaching skills. Next. What is the primary focus of field study courses? Correct answer is letter B. Providing prospective teachers with real classroom experiences. Field study aims to immerse future teachers in a real classroom setting, helping them apply their knowledge. Let's proceed to letter A, training and administration. B, I see focusing on the theories or developing policies are not the main goals. So the correct answer is letter B. Next. A field study student noticed that a teacher is using multiple assessment strategies. So what does this indicate? So the correct answer is letter A. The teacher is using differentiated instruction. Using various assessments shows that the teacher is applying differentiated instruction to meet the diverse needs of the students. Letter B, if does not mean the teacher is unsure about methods, she lacks structures, and letter D, only assess high-performing students. Next. Why is classroom management a critical aspect of field study observation? Correct answer is letter D. Because it will help future teachers understand how to maintain an effective learning environment. Because effective classroom management ensures a productive and organized learning space. It is not just about enforcing discipline, reducing lesson planning, or controlling noise levels. So the correct answer is letter D. Next. What is the importance of motivation in student learning? The answer is letter C. It encourages students to participate actively and engage with lessons. because motivation fosters active engagement and interest in learning. So it is not just about making grading easier, helping the students memorize faster, or eliminating classroom management. So that's why the C is the correct answer. Next, you are tasked with checking students' seat work during classroom activity. So how would you approach this? The correct answer is letter A. You provide immediate feedback and guidance when needed. So, giving constructive feedback will help the students to understand their mistakes and improve. Simply marking answers, that is letter B, focusing only on the fast learners, that is letter C, or grading based on neatness, that is letter D, are ineffective. Next, your mentor teacher asks you to handle a class while they attend a meeting. So what is the best approach? Correct answer is letter A. You follow the lesson and maintain the classroom discipline. Because maintaining continuity in learning and classroom discipline is essential. Letter B, letting students do whatever they want, and letter C, ignoring the lesson plan, or letter D, dismissing class early, are unprofessional. Next, you observe that the teacher uses storytelling to introduce a new concept. So how can you apply this strategy in your teaching assistantship? The correct answer is letter B. You use engaging stories to make abstract ideas relatable to students because storytelling makes lessons more engaging and meaningful. So, letter A, letter A, C, and D are less effective strategies. So the correct answer is letter B. Next. Your mentor teacher asks you to assist in designing a class activity. So what should you consider? The correct answer is letter A, the learning objectives and student engagement, because an effective activity should align with the learning objective and the engage of the students. So letter B, time constraints. Letter C, topic complexity alone or focusing only on fun do not ensure the meaningful learning. So that's why the correct answer is letter A. 31. A teacher asks you to organize classroom materials before a lesson. So what is the best way to do this? Okay, correct answer is letter D. You arrange the materials for easy access and ensure all are ready for use. Because proper organization, this will ensure that the lesson flows smoothly. Letter A, using incomplete materials may disrupt the learning. Letter B, waiting until the lesson start causes delays. And letter C, focusing only on top performing students is unfair. So that's why the correct answer is letter D. Next. As students ask for clarification on a lesson you observed. So how should you respond? The answer is letter A. You explain the concept using the simple terms and examples. Because using simple, clear explanations will help the students grasp the difficult concept. Letter B, telling them to wait for the teacher misses an opportunity for learning. Repeating the lesson word for word may not aid in understanding, and asking another student to explain does not guarantee accuracy. So that's why the correct answer is letter A. Next. You observe that the teacher is frequently uses group activities in class. So what should you analyze to determine if this method is effective? The correct answer is letter B. If the student engagement, participation, and learning outcomes. Because the effectiveness of a group work is measured by how well the students engage, participate, and achieve the learning objective. Letter A. Counting enjoyment, measuring time, or focusing on noise levels does not determine the true effectiveness. Next. A teacher implements a new assessment technique, so what should you analyze to determine its effectiveness? The correct answer is letter C. Whether the students' understanding and performance improve. Because assessment effectiveness is based on students' learning outcome. Letter A. The number of students who pass the test is not always an accurate measure. Letter B. Students' ease with the test does not indicate its value, and time taken is secondary. Next. A teacher asks you to evaluate the effectiveness of seating arrangement in class, so what should you analyze? The correct answer is letter D, whether the arrangement supports students' interaction and learning focus. Because a good setting arrangement enhances collaboration and focus. Letter A, chair color. Letter B, how fast students take seats or visibility alone do not fully determine the effectiveness. Next, number 2. 36. You notice that some students participate more when using multimedia presentations. What should you analyze to confirm its impact? The correct answer is letter A, whether multimedia helps students engage and understand concepts better. Because multimedia should enhance engagement and comprehension, focusing on entertainment, that is letter B, cost, that is letter C, or length of the presentation does not measure its effectiveness in learning. So that's why the correct answer is letter A. Next. A teacher frequently uses group activities, so how should you evaluate whether this method benefits students' learning? So, the correct answer is letter A. You assess whether the students collaborate effectively and meet the learning goals. Because group activities should promote collaboration and achievement. Letter B, measuring how much students talk. C, comparing group versus individual group, or D, focusing on classroom noise does not determine the effectiveness. Next. You observe the two teachers using different methods to motivate students. What is the best way to evaluate which method is more effective? So the correct answer is letter D. You compare student engagement, participation, and academic performance. Because a good motivation technique leads to higher engagement and academic success. Letter A, B, and C does not assess effectiveness. So that's why the correct answer is letter D. Next. Your field study Your field study portfolio requires a teaching strategy recommendation based on the classroom observation. So what should you include? The correct answer is letter B. A strategy aligned with students' needs, learning styles, and the classroom environment. Because a well-structured recommendation considers students' diversity and classroom conditions. Basing on a teacher style, that is letter A, listing popular strategies, that is letter C, or making vague suggestion is ineffective. That's why the correct answer is letter B. Next. You are assigned to create an assessment tool for project-based learning. So what should you do? The correct answer is letter A. You develop a rubric with clear and measurable evaluation criteria. Because a rubric provides clear expectations and ensures fair grading. Letter B. Letting the students grade themselves. Letter C. Lacks objectivity. Letting the students grade themselves lack of objectivity, and using only multiple choice tests is not suitable for projects. And grading based on neatness alone can ignore the learning quality. Next. What is the first step in classroom immersion during a field study? The correct answer is letter B. You observing and analyzing the classroom environment. Because before actively participating, field study students must observe how the classroom operates. Letter A. Conducting full lessons is premature. Creating lesson plans immediately skips observation, and assigning grades is not a student's role. So the correct answer is letter B. Next. What is the purpose of teaching assistantship in field study? Correct answer is letter B. To apply the teaching strategies under the supervision of a mentor teacher. So teaching assistantship will allow the students to practice teaching with guidance. Assisting in non-teaching tasks, letter A. Letter C. Evaluating teacher performance or replacing the teacher are not the main purposes. That's why the correct answer is letter B. Next. What document that guides classroom observation in field study? Correct answer is letter A. Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers, or PPST. This will outline the standards of effective teaching and professional growth. So what I said earlier, that the K-12 grading system focuses on assessment. The teacher code of ethics will cover the professional conduct, and the school facilities manuals will deals with infrastructure. Correct answer is letter A. Next. What is mentored classroom teaching? Correct answer is letter B. Teaching lessons while receiving feedback from experienced teacher. Because mentored teaching will involve guided practice with feedback. Teaching independently, that is letter A. B. Skip the letter C, skip the learning process. Just observing does not follow the practical experiences, and evaluating other teacher is not a student's role. So the correct answer is letter B. Number 46. A field study student observes a teacher encouraging self-reflection among students. So what skill is being promoted? The correct answer is letter A, independent learning and metacognition. Because self-reflection develops critical thinking and self-awareness. Letter B, memorization of subject matter. C, passive listening does not involve engagement. And strict obedience to classroom rules limits the students' autonomy. So the correct answer is letter A. Next. 47. A field study student observes a teacher's encouraging self-reflection. 47. A field study student assists in a classroom with students who have diverse learning needs. What should they learn from this experience? The correct answer is letter A, the importance of using a variety of instructional strategies. Because letter B, C, and D is not effective. Next. What is the most effective way to assess a student's learning progress during classroom immersion? So the correct answer is letter A. You conducting informative assessments and providing feedback. Because formative assessments will help monitor the progress and guide instruction. Letter B, assigning on multiple choice tests. C, grading based on attendance. Or D, observing without interaction does not give a complete picture of a student's learning. So that's why the correct answer is letter A. Next. During classroom immersion, you notice that some students are disengaged. So how can you help? The correct answer is letter C. You encourage participation through interactive questioning and activities. Why? Because active engagement requires interactive strategies. So letter A, ignore disengaged students. Letter B, allow them to remain silent. Or letter D, using strict discipline alone does not foster motivation. Next. Your mentor teacher gives you a chance to lead a short review session. So how should you conduct it? The answer is letter D. You use interactive techniques like question and answer or games. Because an effective review session will keep the students engaged and active. Letter A, asking only the top students participate is unfair. Letter B, reading direct from a textbook is passive, and lecturing without interaction does not also ensure understanding. So the correct answer is letter D. Next. A teacher asks you to observe and take notes on the student's behavior. So what should you focus on? The correct answer is letter B, how students respond to teaching strategies and classroom management. Because the goal of observation is to analyze how the teaching methods influence the students' behavior. Letter A, focusing on personalized. Letter C, silence. Or letter D, identifying the loudest students does not provide meaningful insights. That's why the correct answer is letter B. Next. You are asked to assist a teacher in managing the classroom behavior. So what is an effective approach? The correct answer is letter A. Reinforce the positive behavior through praise and encouragement. So, encouraging positive reinforcement that will promote the good behavior. Letter B, C, and D is ineffective. That's why the correct answer is letter A. Next. A teacher asks you to help create a classroom setting arrangement. What should be considered? Correct answer is letter A. The arranging students to support engagement and minimize distractions. Because a good seating arrangement enhances focus and collaboration. Letter B, letting students sit anywhere. Letter C, keeping the same arrangement all year. Letter D, separating students based on grades does not maximize the learning. So the correct answer is letter A. Next. You are assigned to prepare a reflection on classroom immersion. So what should it include? The correct answer is the letter C. Observations on student learning, motivation, and teacher strategies. Because a meaningful reflection should analyze teaching strategies, student engagement. Letter A, listing a lesson summaries without analysis, making compliance or focusing only on the top students is not effective. So the correct answer is letter C. Next. Next is a teacher asks for help in implementing the differentiated instruction. So how can you assist? The correct answer is letter C. You suggest varied activities that will cater to different learning styles. Because differentiated instruction adapts to students' needs. Letter A, focusing only on high achievers. Letter B, giving all students the same worksheet. And letter D, simplifying lessons by removing challenges is not effective. So the correct answer is letter C. Next. A field study student observes two different teachers using rewards and punishment. So what should be analyzed to determine their impact on students' motivation? The correct answer is letter B. How students perform change over time. Because if the effectiveness of rewards and punishment is measured by long-term behavioral and academic improvement. Letter A, counting rewards. Letter C, checking the students' preferences. And D, focusing on strictness is not a valid measure. That's why the correct answer is letter B. Next. Next, you observe that a teacher uses humor in teaching. What should you analyze to determine its effectiveness? The correct answer is letter B. Whether the humor enhances students' engagement and learning and attention. Because effective humor should increase engagement and understanding. Letter A, counting laughs. Letter C, measuring joke frequency. Or letter D, focusing on personal opinion does not assess its impact on learning. So that's why letter B is the correct answer. Next. A teacher uses peer assessment in class. So what should be analyzed to ensure fairness? The correct answer is letter A. Whether the The peer assessment rubric is clear and objective because a clear rubric ensures fair and unbiased grading. Letter B, checking if students favor friends. Letter C, speed of assessment. Letter C, quantity of assessment does not ensure real reliability. So the correct answer is letter A. Next, a student is usually quiet during class but scores high on written assessment. So what should be analyzed? So the correct answer is letter A, whether the student prefers written tasks over verbal participation. Because some students excel in writing but struggle with verbal expression. Letter B, assuming that they lack confidence. Letter B, assuming they lack confidence. Letter C, checking previous grades, or D, analyzing social media activity does not address the issue. Next, you observe that a teacher is frequently calls you on the same students during discussion. So what should be analyzed? Correct answer is letter D, whether all students have equal opportunities to participate. Because a good teacher, you ensure that inclusive participation, counting how many students, letter A, counting how many students are called. Letter B, assuming that the best students should enter. And letter C, focusing on response speed does not reflect the classroom equity. So the correct answer is letter D. Next, a field study student asked to evaluate students' participation in a lesson. So what should they consider? Correct answer is letter A, the level of student engagement and interaction with the material. Because students' participation is best measured by engagement and the interaction. Letter B, counting raised hands. Letter C, lesson completion speed. Letter D, focusing on teacher enthusiasm does not fully capture the students' involvement. So that's why the correct answer is letter A. Next, you observe a classroom where the teacher gives frequent praise to students. So what should be analyzed to determine its effectiveness? The correct answer is letter A, whether praise increases students' motivation and effort. Because effective praise should encourage students to put in more effort and stay motivated. Letter B, C, and D does not assess its impact. Next, a teacher uses project-based learning as an assessment method. So how should you evaluate whether this is effective? Correct answer is letter A. You check if the students demonstrate deeper understanding and problem-solving skills. Because project-based learning should enhance understanding and critical thinking. Next, a principal asks you to propose an improvement to classroom management practices. So what should you prioritize? The correct answer is letter A. You create consistent rules that promote positive student behavior. Because clear and consistent rules will help the students understand expectations. Letter B, strict punishment. Letter C, rewarding all the students regardless of the behavior. Or letter D, letting the students create rules without guidance may not be effective. So that's why A is the correct answer. Next, you You are asked to design a lesson plan for an inclusive classroom. So what should be included? The correct answer is letter A. Differentiated instruction strategies to accommodate the diverse learners. Because an inclusive lesson plan should address different learning needs. And in letter B, C, and D does not support inclusivity. Next. What type of learning does field study promote? The answer is letter B, authentic and experiential learning. Because field study focus on real-world classroom experiences. Letter A, C, and D do not reflect its objective because in A, that is rote memorization, C, passive learning, and letter D, purely theoretical learning. So that's why they do not reflect its objectives. The correct answer is letter B. Next. What is the importance of classroom observation in field study? The correct answer is letter B. It will help students understand the real teaching and the learning dynamics. Because observing classroom, this will provide insights into real teaching environments. The A, evaluating school policies. Letter C, replacing internships. Or letter D, ensuring high grades is not the goal. Next. So what component should included in a field study portfolio? The answer is letter B. The detailed observations on classroom management, students' motivation, and the assessment methods. Because a portfolio should contain detailed reflection and analysis. The letter A, listing lesson plans. Letter C, answering the teacher's questions. And letter D, reporting salaries is not relevant. So that's why the correct answer is letter B. Next. Which of the following is not a key area to focus in a field study classroom observation? So the correct answer is letter C, the school canteen menu options. Because field study focus on teaching strategies, students' behavior, and classroom management. The letter C, canteen menu option are not relevant, is not relevant. Next. What is the role of reflection in field study? The answer is letter A, to document experiences and analyze the teaching strategies. Because reflection, this will help improve teaching skills through self-analysis. Letter B is summarizing the lesson. Letter C is evaluating facilities. And letter D is creating a final test. And it is not its main purpose. So that's why letter A is the correct answer. Next. Why should field study students reflect on their observations and experiences? The correct answer is letter A, to develop their critical thinking and improve their teaching approach. Because reflection will allow the future educators to analyze their experiences and refine their teaching methods. And by thinking critically about what worked well and what could be improved, students become better prepared for the actual teaching. Next. A field study student witnesses a teacher using storytelling to explain a lesson. So what is the primary benefit of this strategy? The correct answer is letter B. It makes the lesson more engaging and relatable for students because storytelling is a powerful teaching strategy because it captures the student's attention and makes the lesson more memorable. So it helps the students relate abstract concepts to real life situations, making the learning more meaningful. Next, how does a well-mannered classroom contribute to student learning? So the answer is letter B. It will create an environment where students feel safe and focused. Because a well-managed classroom will provide a structured and organized learning environment where students can concentrate on their studies without disruptions. So this contributes to better academic performance and engagement. Next, you are asked to help assess students' learning progress. What is the appropriate method? The correct answer is letter A. Observing participation, reviewing the work, and providing constructive feedback. Because assessing students' progress requires a holistic approach that includes classroom observation, the checking student work, and giving helpful feedback to improve the learning. Next, you are assigned to assess in preparing a lesson plan. So what should be included? The answer is letter A, learning objective, the teaching strategies, and the assessment methods. Because a well-structured lesson plan must include learning objectives, what students should achieve by the end of the lesson, teaching strategies, that is the method used to deliver the lesson effectively, and assessment methods, that is the way to measure the student's understanding. Next, during your field study, a teacher asks you to help with formative assessment. What is an effective way to do this? Okay, the correct answer is letter D. You use quick quizzes, discussions, or peer assessment. Because formative assessment is designed to monitor the student's learning in real time and make adjustment before a final evaluation. So it includes quizzes, interactive discussions, and peer reviews to provide feedback and support learning. So the correct answer is letter D. Next, your mentor teacher allows you to facilitate group activity. So what should you prioritize? The correct answer is letter D. You ensuring all students participate and stay on task. Because effective group activities require active participation from all the students. Next, a teacher gives you the task of assisting with learning resource selection. So what is the best approach? The correct answer is letter C. You choose the materials that match the lesson objectives and the students' needs. Because learning resources should be aligned with the lesson objectives and cater the diverse students' needs. Using letter A, using only textbooks will limit the interactive learning, and letter B, selecting the materials randomly may not align with the curriculum and ignoring the resource selection can lead to ineffective lesson delivery. So that's why letter C is the correct answer. Next, you are asked to help introduce a new concept in class. So, what is an effective method? The correct answer is letter A. You relate the concept to students' prior knowledge and experiences because effective teaching connects new knowledge to what students already know, helping them grasp the new concept more easily. The letter B is passive and does not ensure comprehension. And letter C, without the discussion, that will lead to rote memorization. And letter D makes the learning abstract and harder to understand. That's why the correct answer is letter A. Next. A teacher asks you to assist giving feedback on students' work. What should you do? You give all the correct answer is letter C. You provide specific constructive feedback that will help students improve. Because effective feedback should be clear, specific, and actionable so that the students understand their mistakes and improve. That's why the correct answer is letter C. A. Giving all students the same feedback is ineffective. B. Marking answers without explanation does not promote growth. And letter D. Avoiding feedback that will deprive students of opportunities of self-improvement. So C is the correct answer. Next. You are asked to help implement a classroom routine. So what is the best way to do this? The correct answer is letter A. You model and reinforce the routine consistently until the students follows it. So, classroom routines creates a structure and efficiency. This will help the students know what to expect daily because the most effective way to implement a routine is by demonstrating it repeatedly and reinforcing it through consistent practice. Next, a teacher uses only one teaching strategy for all the students. So what should be analyzed? The answer is letter B, whether this approach can meet the needs of the different learning styles. Because students have diverse learning styles. Some students learn best through visuals, others learn through hands-on activities, and others learn through discussion. So a teacher should adapt strategies to accommodate these differences. So next, a student excels in hands-on activities but struggles in written tests. So the correct answer is letter B, whether the student has different strengths in learning styles. Because students have different strengths, some perform better in practical, some performs better in real-world tasks, while others would excel in traditional exam. So a teacher must recognize and adjust assessment to accommodate the different learning styles. So that's why the correct answer is letter B. Next. You observe that the teacher uses student-led discussion instead of lectures. So what should you analyze to determine its effectiveness? Correct answer is letter A, whether the students are engaged and demonstrate critical thinking. because student-led discussions promote higher order thinking and active engagement. So their success should be measured by students' participation and depth, depth and responses. Next, a school is considering implementing flexible learning schedules. So what should be analyzed before making a decision? The correct answer is letter A. How does schedule affect the students' learning outcomes and engagement? Because before changing the schedule, school must assess whether the adjustment will improve the students' engagement, can improve the performance, or the well-being. So the correct answer is letter A. Next, a teacher allows students to use digital tools for learning. So what should be analyzed to determine its impact? The correct answer is letter A, whether the tools enhance learning and student engagement. Because technology should be assessed based on how to improve students' understanding and motivation. So the correct answer is letter A. Next, you are asked to evaluate whether a classroom is inclusive for diverse learner. So what should you look for? Correct answer is letter D, whether different teaching strategies are used to support varied learning needs. Because an inclusive classroom uses differentiated instruction to meet the needs of all the learners, including those with disabilities, the language barriers, or the different learning styles. Next, a teacher allows students self-assess their own work. So how should you evaluate whether this method is effective? The correct answer is letter A. You determine if students become more responsible for their learning, because self-assessment encourages independent learning, responsibility, and reflection. Next, a teacher implements a new reward system to encourage good behavior. So what should be considered when evaluating its impact? Correct answer is letter A, whether the student's behavior and motivation improve over time. Because a successful reward system can lead to sustained improvements in students' behavior and motivation. Next, your mentor teacher asks you to develop an alternative way to assess students' understanding beyond the written exam. So what is a good option? The correct answer is letter A. Have students create a presentation, project, or portfolio to demonstrate their learning. Because alternative assessment like projects, presentations, and portfolios will allow students to showcase their understanding in creative and also in practical ways. So, field study is a vital bridge between theoretical knowledge and real-world teaching, equipping the future educators with hands-on experience in classroom management, student engagement, and instructional strategies. So, through observation, participation, reflection, aspiring teachers develop critical thinking, adaptability, and deeper understanding of a diverse learning needs. So this experience not only prepares them for the realities of teaching, but also fosters a commitment to continuous improvement and lifelong learning. Ultimately, field study shapes educators who are not only knowledgeable, but also compassionate, effective, and ready to make a meaningful impact in the classroom. That would be all. Thank you.